The northeastern tropical rainforest of Queensland, Australia is beautiful. It has spectacular scenery with magnificent mountain ranges, lush vegetation, and crystal clean rivers. It's a great place to visit, but if you do, beware, for lurking amongst the shadows is a dangerous giant that can kill you with one powerful blow. And if you make the mistake of entering this killer's territory, it will stalk you and attack when you least expect it, with deadly results.
In the animal world, when we invade the home, particularly if there's babies around, that's when we'll get pushed away, and violently.
The lush rainforest is the home of the largest native land animal in Australia, the southern cassowary. And this flightless bird is one of the world's largest. Standing up to 2 meters tall and weighing in at roughly 60 to 80 kilograms, it is not a bird to mess with. The cassowary is considered to be aggressive, and with over 150 recorded attacks on humans, it's easy to appreciate that this is one seriously dangerous animal. Known as the most deadly bird in the world, it's definitely worthy of making our list of 72.
The cassowary is something that is very capable of killing man. The cassowary doesn't just kick, it jumps up and it will just cut you open. Again, that is when we invade its territory.
David Thorne from the Caversham Wildlife Park in Western Australia has worked with the southern cassowary for years. He's very fond of them, but ever mindful of safety when he enters the enclosure with his birds, and warns they're still very much a wild animal.
Cassowaries in captivity, like anything else, are hand-reared. They probably do behave a little bit differently, but it would be more in the way that they're not afraid, so they could be more mischievous.
The cassowary is the dominant animal in the Australian tropical rainforest, and that's not surprising as they are superb athletes. This enormous bird can reach speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, jump 1.5 meters high, and swim rivers or seas with ease. So you won't escape the cassowary if they're hunting you, and if you decide to stop and fight, you might want to think twice about that too, as this bird has some serious weaponry.
He can outrun me. He will chase you through the rainforest. He can kick you and he will peck you and also use his horn on his head to bang into you. As you can see, his feet are quite large. He has 3 toes and they all have very sharp claws on them, and that's what they use to kick people.
These 3 sharp claws are the bird's primary defense, and the middle toe is shaped like a 125mm dagger. This can open you up like a tin can. Combine these claws with powerful legs, and you have a lethal weapon.
It's very painful, and I don't recommend it for anybody to try it out. He kicked me in the head when I'd bent over and I was accidentally too close to the fence, and I was bleeding from where all the nails went into my head. Yeah, it's not nice. It felt like someone had hit me in the head with a brick when he kicked me. It was so painful. It wasn't something that I like to experience again.
Based at the Malcolm Douglas Wilderness Wildlife Park in the north of Western Australia, Donna Tanyan may have had a rough start when meeting her flightless workmates, but working with these animals is a job she loves, and considers this cassowary to be one of her favorites.
But he doesn't like me back.
The cassowary is a very territorial animal, and it patrols an area around 7 square kilometers. So venture into their turf, and you will know about it very quickly. They will stalk you like a prehistoric raptor from Jurassic Park. If you turn and run, that is when they'll strike. They're a smart hunter. They will outflank you when you aren't watching and hit you like a freight train.
So this cassowary can jump up to about my chest height, and what he would do would be stabbing me with his claws, and he'd stab them into my chest and rip down as he goes to land on the ground. It'd be very painful, and I wouldn't like to experience it.
The diet of the southern cassowary is mainly made up of forest fruits and berries. But being an omnivore, they will eat most things they find, foraging for food in the forest, including small animals. But they also will eat other foods when in captivity, like stone fruit and even kiwi fruit.
So living in the rainforest, I have quite a large variety of food. Kiwi fruit's not natural, but he absolutely loves it. It's his favourite.
But if you think you can win over a cassowary with treats, think twice. They will never be your friend. In fact, feeding this oversized bird will only make them more fearless and aggressive. So be careful.
When you walk past his fence and when I go to feed him, he jumps up and attacks the fence, he kicks the fence, he hisses at me, he pecks me through the fence. He's very aggressive and I see him every day and I still have not made a connection with him. Even when he's sick, he still doesn't like you.
The name cassowary comes from a Papuan name meaning horned head, referring to the helmet of tough skin borne on the crown of the head. The color of the head and neck can change depending on the mood of the cassowary.
There's a couple of theories to the crown. They're still not sure on what it is used for. When they start calling to each other, because they live solitary lives, they need to amplify their call to meet each other and come across for mating. So they use the horn to help amplify the noise. It's actually hollow. And they also believe that they use it to run through the rainforest and bang into things and to attack people with.
In the cassowary world, the female is, well, queen. They are larger, more aggressive, and leave the male to do the entire child rearing.
More than likely, most of the attacks will happen when there's babies about, so they're protecting that area, but people haven't seen it. Just people going into their homes.
The cassowary is an endangered species in Australia. There are less cassowaries than pandas in China, and the habitat of the bird has been reduced by 80%. Thus, the loss of habitat puts the bird on a collision course with humans. So you can't blame them for being a little grumpy.